Hola a todo el mundo, buenas noches. Hello everybody, good night.
Good evening. Hello.
How are you?
I'm amazing. How are you?
Very good. Yeah, happy to be here
Me
with
too.
you and with all amazing people from Uruguay, also from other parts of the world.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And soon we will be in Uruguay.
Yes, very soon.
Yes.
This week,
Hmm.
actually.
For
Yeah,
you this week already. Yeah, crazy.
I'm
Amazing.
arriving first. I'm doing the hard work first, so I'm opening the space.
You're going to clean the grass and prepare the garden.
Exactly.
Amazing. Thank you. And then I will come like a queen to join you. I'm so lucky. How did I get so lucky?
So yeah, I'm traveling this week there. So I'm arriving on Thursday, and we're starting a foundation on Friday.
Mm.
And yeah, and then the week after we have more activities. You are joining us. You are
Yes.
coming directly from the Netherlands to Uruguay,
Me.
and we are going to facilitate together a 3-day body class. And
Yes.
we are going to have also some special events, evening events. Like, well, one day we will have a trade and SOP taster, and then we will have also a money class and a relationship class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what?
What?
Uh, we created a name for this Zoom, which is something like, is this the moment to change all the things you couldn't change? And for me, it's kind of connecting to all these creations, the foundation class, the money class, the SOP taster, the relationships class, the 3-day body class. It's like all these energies for me are so connected to like, is it time to change? Is it the moment to change? All those things that you could never change.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. All this creation and all these classes has this energy
Yeah.
of choice and also the possibility to change stuff, to change things that we didn't change before.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And also this energy of like, is this the moment? It's kind of like inviting us to get really present and aware of the fact that we can choose it. Like, is it now? You want to choose this change now? You could never change it, but you can change it now. It's such a powerful invitation.
Yeah, and if you look at that, as Dane says, now is the space,
Yeah.
because it's really like in terms of time, it's we are so close to the classes, and at the same time, there's like a huge space of choice. Maybe it's that your reality that you're listening to this Zoom today, and it's like, oh wow, I could join. I can join some of the classes. I can even choose one of the big classes, foundation or trade body class.
Yeah.
That's also our invitation to these classes, and not just to the classes, to the what the classes create in your life.
Yeah.
We invite people to join the classes, to join us, to create a different reality, a different possibility for your lives, for our lives, for the planet.
Oh.
And and yeah, and it's also when we ask a question about, hey, what's that going to create in my life? It's not about the result, it's not about the rightness or wrongness. It's not about knowing how it's going to look like. It's about the energy, the sense that you can get from a question and from a possibility that you're asking for, that hey, what's going to create that in my life.
Oh. Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
And like you said, it's really this awareness of future that you're adding to this.
yeah,
And we have learned that you choose something because it's right, or not choose something because it's wrong to choose it. And this is like the energy of like, no, it's creation energy, right? Like if what would I like to change? And am I ready to change it now? And what can these classes invite for that change to occur?
yeah,
Yeah. And I would say even for us, you have been many times to Uruguay, and this is my first time, but also every time we travel to do a class anywhere, including Uruguay, it's really following the whispers of that invitation, right? The land, the people, the body, consciousness, like what can we create together there, all of us.
Yeah. I remember the first time I went to Uruguay, and I just followed this whisper, to, hey, I didn't know anything about Uruguay. I only knew a few people that I met in Barcelona, and I loved them, and they had an energy that I loved actually. And I was like, wow, I just want to go to this place. From this energy, knowing these people, I got this invitation at some moment to, hey, I would love to go to Uruguay. And then I was in Brazil and I had the chance to go to Uruguay.
Mm.
I was already facilitating classes, but at that time I was only facilitating bars classes and a few workshops of access.
Mm.
And I remember it was quite let's say intense, and also, yeah, really a choice. Also, not something that is like super, like easy, but that okay, there is something here, and yeah, I can see now after this choice how many things opened in my life.
Mm.
And that we can talk about this choice or many other choices, right, Kalpana?
Yeah.
I'm sure we can see that in many of the choices we have been doing, especially since we know the tools, since we know that a question brings us consciousness,
Yeah.
brings us awareness.
Yeah. Oof, totally. And it's also to do with trusting that those whispers are, like guiding us or showing us something. And for people also, like, hey, we can choose something different. Like, I love that the energy with access classes is how many times when you're in the class, you're like, oh my God, yes, this energy of being different, this energy of, I might not like all the aspects of my life, but I can actually do something about it and get empowered, and also be in this energy of relaxation and no judgment. Because I know that Enric, you and me both, we have done many classes, like followed many access classes. And every time you go to participate, you're just like, oh my God, this energy of these people and this space of no judgment and allowance and laughter and fun, and it's fine to be crazy and weird. It's such also a gift. And oops, and we, with the COVID, we've had a lot of online classes, and I think even more we appreciate live classes and having bodies in this space and allowing the bodies to receive and gift from each other and enjoy each other, right? Like also as facilitators, but also as participants.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it creates a different space, and when we can be live and with our bodies, of course.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love what you said about going to a class and then you're like, oh my God, this energy. So also, because I've been always doing that, like knowing a class of access of Dane or Gary or some other facilitator, and like, oh yeah, this is not for me, or even kind of wanting it, but at the same time saying no, and then like saying like, yeah, it's too expensive, or so much money to invest here. And then it's like suddenly you go there because you follow the energy, you follow the whispers, you follow the lightness.
Yeah.
Even if it's not so kind of like prepared
And obvious,
the money maybe it's not really there at some moment, but then you go there and it's like, oh wow, oh yes. You say like, yes, that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to.
Yeah. And it's also like when you're there that you're like, oh, I knew I had to be there. It's nearly like now I get it, just already being in the class, like your whole body relaxes, and it's already so much.
Yeah. And this sense that you are super alive, after doing the class, and after it's like, wow, I'm super alive. And it's like, that's when you say that, right? That's what I was looking for, kind of like, oh wow, that energy. And it's like, oh wow, that's being alive. That's being alive in this planet for me.
Yeah.
It's not about access, it's about you, it's about us. So access is the system, the technique, the tools,
The space
plan
and the invitation. Yeah.
invitation for that. But what we got about all of this is more of us.
Wow. And more of us choosing more of us creates more of us in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like, how cool would it be that we can literally, it's kind of like we can infect the world with this joy and this space and this energy of presence and choice. All these things show up the more we are willing to choose also, and I love what you said about, like, sometimes there's a class and you don't have the money and you're like, oh my God, this is crazy. This could be like my rent for 3 months, for my house. And then there's still something pushing you and you're like, okay, how am I going to tell people at home? And you go and you make it happen because you ask for it and the money shows up out of nowhere. And then you're there and you're like, thank you, body, for bringing me here.
Yeah. Let me say something for the people that just joined and maybe they cannot see the chat. Para todos los que habéis entrado hace poco y estás escuchando solo el inglés, ahora lo pusieron en el chat, las indicaciones, pero podéis ir a interpretación y elegir el idioma español, ¿sí? So you can choose language in the option interpretation. Well, if you are doing English, you don't need it, maybe.
Yeah.
But there is also Estonian.
Yeah, Nicola's added again.
Yeah.
Cool. So I didn't realize if you join later, you don't see the previous chat.
No, you don't.
Good one. Good one.
Hey, just want to know if someone has a question.
Yeah.
Guys that are in Uruguay and you are seeing these classes or also seeing your future, okay? Because this class is about your future, okay? It's not just about coming to the class and paying us. It's about not only that,
I like
not only about you going to lose some money. It's like, what's that money going to create? I mean, what's that going to create in your life? It's about your future. This money, you are paying it to you, not just to us. You are paying it to your future.
I love that.
You are investing it to your future to say, like, hey, you know what? I just want to go beyond. I just want to go beyond what normal people is doing, which is like everyone almost.
Yeah.
Because if Access has something, it's the potency to make you step somewhere else where you are more of you and where you are able to deal with this reality, not just to have a fairy tale world of everything about energy and spirituality and healing and whatever. It's about one thing that I loved about Access that gave me the power to deal with this reality. I was always being killed by this reality. I was always so bored about this world, about this life. I was always not able to be relaxed, to be happy. And it's like, wow, if you can get a bit of that, it's like, wow, how your life can be. So do you guys have any question?
I love that energy, what you just gave us. Each class which you choose is inviting and being you. Yeah. Each class which you choose is inviting and being you. Beautiful, Martin. Thank you.
Thank you, Martin.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love this energy of like, it's you're paying yourself. And what you get out of it is like many more folds than the amount you pay or invest. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's also, for me, already from the first VARS class, all this, trying to find the right result, or that is matching the money that I'm paying with the result or the information or the material that I will get in the class. So it's already like killed in the first classes that you do in Access, because it's not about it's not linear. It's not I put this, it's not transactional. I put this and then I get that, and it's matching.
It's so true. It's not transactional, because sometimes people will say, what will I get out of the class? And it's like, it's up to you. And it's so many things. And if we can really allow to not go to the mind about it, but really trust actually that pull or that excitement or that even that maybe even a bit of fear, which is probably excitement, but you think you're afraid. Trust that and go with it. And I would say every Access class that I participated in and followed, it gave me much more than I could even know I could ask for, you know? It was like, oh, I didn't even know I could ask for this and I'm getting this. Wow. Still now, still all the time. Yeah.
True story. And yeah, it's not about getting, okay, now I know the right information, so I don't need to know anything else.
Yeah, I'm done.
That's how Access works. If you go to an advanced class with Gary and Dane, you will just like change your world, like in a way that like bars they did. And some of the classes that you are doing, they are creating that on your life. So it's about this space and possibility beyond definition. It's not about, hey, that's what we got, and we're going to keep doing the same thing for all eternity. No, Gary Douglas is more than 80 years old, and he's like, hey, what can I change in my life? What else can I invite the world to?
Yeah. And I also just want to mention with the energy that you're showing us, also repeating classes, because, you know, when we do any other modality or school or whatever, it's like, oh, bars, check. Okay, foundation, check. So why would I do it again? I already did it. What's the next class? But, you know, both of us have done many classes many times. And it's really what I love about Access. No class is the same. So if you've done a foundation or you've done a 3-day body class and you're like, oh, I already did that one. So, and it's like, hey, wait a minute. There is so much that you will receive every time because you are different every time. And the facilitator has changed. Even if it's the same facilitator, it's not the same facilitator because the facilitator has changed and the manuals changes and the people in the class will be different. So one class you will be something else. And the second class, you'll be like, I still remember people repeating the foundation with me. And they said, this was in the last manual, because they repeated before the manual changed. And I said, yes. And they're like, I never heard that one. And it's like, talked about it last time. So really, please, I just want to also show that this is the difference in Access. Repeating doesn't mean like, oh, you know, I have nothing else to do. That would be so stupid. It's actually going deeper and opening up more space. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a comment from Paula. I'm going to read it.
Yeah.
She says, yeah, before my first class, my first thought was, oh my God, so expensive. But now it's very cheap because Access changed my life. Thank you so much. Thank you, Paula, for your comment.
Wow. Thank you, Paula. And thank you for choosing, because this one, I think, Enric, you must recognize it. I recognize it so much. I still remember, I remember my first class, and there was first what now is COP, and there were all these other class. There was an ESC and there was this and that. And I was like, oh no, $150 more. No, it's okay. I go for a sandwich, you know, and I want a break. And I had all these excuses. And really, it's like what is expensive now will not be expensive because your life will really change. Yeah. Thank you for that energy, Paula. Amazing.
Yeah, I got the same. And for me, even with any class that I did, it's kind of like, there's no class that didn't create
more.
Not even a change, a big change. Like all of them, they just create a big change in my life. And it's like, yeah, looking at any of those classes is like, oh, wow. Like, yeah, like the price, this thing about the price, it's already gone and melted because it's like, oh, wow, what I got from there. It's like, I cannot even think that was expensive and I have to say that at the beginning, I was using my mind, like really, like I was in the first COP with Gary, and it was like so hard. I was having such a hard time to get there, to get to the class. And then after the class, I was so intense in my body and so lost and totally like, I was still thinking that, what did I do with the money and this class? I didn't understand anything. The class was about choice.
What was the class about? I have no idea.
I don't get
what happened.
Yeah, because my mind was working. I mean, my mind doesn't work the same way. And that's the greatest gift in all of that. that my mind is not controlling my life as it was just a few years ago.
Yeah.
And that it's brave. That is courageous to choose to be beyond, not many people acknowledge it. Even people cannot see it. They see something, they see that you are different, they see that you are happier, or that you trust yourself a bit more or a lot more.
A lot more.
But sometimes everyone is so busy with their limitations that they cannot even acknowledge it. I know, because many people around will not acknowledge that. They will not get it, what I'm
They
doing.
will think if you had a haircut, like you cut your hair.
Yeah.
You have colored lenses. What's different?
Something different.
No, my whole life changed. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like a few things has changed in the
Yeah.
last week.
Yeah.
Hours.
Yeah.
Oh, the
3
last
days.
I already chose something different.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Anybody have a question? Enric and me can talk about our excitement and
Please,
joy
ones that are
all the
in,
time.
also, of course, the ones that are in Uruguay, you are especially invited to ask questions.
Yeah.
You can ask in Spanish. We'll translate it. You can also write it in the chat.
Yeah. Tanya has written something. Ileana, do you want to read and translate?
She's reading it in Spanish, maybe. Or no, not yet. She's translating. No, translating, no, talking in Spanish, right?
Wow. Thank you, Tanya. Tanya is one of our hosts. She's inviting, taking care of all the classes. Beautiful to hear this.
Oh, so I'm not hearing it because I didn't choose English, maybe?
Yeah. Forgot to tell you to choose English.
Oh.
Cool. Thanks, Tanya. Anybody else? Any question about the foundation or the 3-day body class or something else? We also have a bar swap coming up, right? Enric, we're there.
Yeah. We have a bar swap. We have also a SOP taster. We have many activities. We are going to have a morning class, evening class, on the weekend during the 3-day body class, and then a relationship class also.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Only these two classes, the relationship class and the money class, and also the foundation that I'm going to facilitate this weekend myself, alone in that case. These 3 events are also available online. The rest not. The trade no. The taster neither, and then the 3-day body class, it's not possible.
We need your beautiful bodies in the room. We want to touch you.
Yeah, exactly. We need the bodies. And yeah, maybe already it's going to be in the Radisson Victoria Plaza. The Radisson Victoria Plaza is the hotel, the venue for the class in the center of Montevideo. Just an amazing hotel, amazing space for the classes, and you are so invited. And also, yeah, if you want to ask any question during these days, please contact our hosts and promoters and staff and anyone that share our information, or whoever you can ask a question, and we will help you.
Yeah, there's Vanessa, there's Vicky.
Yeah. We love to help you to come to our classes, to come to create something different for you, something great.
Yeah, sorry, Enric, sorry. And sorry, you didn't finish. Ileana is coming all the way from Mexico to translate for us because I don't speak Spanish. So, which is amazing. So nice. Yeah. And of course, Enric speaks Spanish. So the foundation will be in Spanish.
Yeah. And Kalpana is also speaking a bit of Spanish, so
Un poco.
Muy bien, muy bien. ¿Ninguna
Gracias.
pregunta? No hay ninguna pregunta. There's no any questions.
Una pregunta, por favor. No, not por favor.
We are talking about all this. Of course, we're inviting you to our classes, but it's about that, you can change things that you couldn't change before. That's my experience continuously every day. And since I know these tools, I'm able to change stuff that I couldn't change. And you know what happens after 6 years? That it gets more and more.
Wow.
I mean, if you choose it. Of course, maybe it doesn't work for anyone, but one thing I know about these tools is that if you use it, it works.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work mostly who doesn't use it. Like a session, like a bar session or any of the body processes, they are so magic. And what I have seen these years working with bodies and people and people saying, yeah, okay, yeah, it's good. How many sessions did you did? Oh, no, just one.
Uh-huh.
Just the session in the class. And oh, wow, you didn't use it. So, and of course, there's many tools, many therapies in the world, and there's no right and no wrong. This is not right and the other's wrong. It's more about what you can create, perceive the space, perceive the energy. And yeah, we can invite you to that because we've been kicking our asses ourselves during the last years, just like being, creating, choosing that. But making it clear again, not about access, about choosing more of us.
Wow.
If now I would quit access, what I would have about these years and about being working with these tools and facilitating so many things, and not just so many things, a different space of being that I cannot lose. It's not something that you lose. I cannot, there's things in my life now, there's a clarity, there's a confidence, there's a potency that I cannot lose it. Once you know that, once you discover yourself, once you discover what's really fucking true in this world and in you, you cannot lose it. But to see sometimes you have to get over the lies. You have to go beyond the lies that are there. And that's what we do with all these tools, and that's what we do when you go to a class.
Yay.
You choose it. You really go there to, hey, that's the moment, that's the space, that's the energy, that's the whole like contribution and intensity of the class, of the facilitator, of the class itself, and all the people that is choosing this change, contributing to you to change. Yeah. That's the difference from choosing a class and just being at home, doing only the tools and being kind of interested in more,
Yeah. Amazing. So thrilled, Enric, and looking forward.
Yeah.
And first time for me in Uruguay. I'm so curious and excited to meet you all.
They're laughing.
They're laughing. And I think, Enric, you guys changed the energy of the Radisson every time you did a class there. So, that's also one of the beautiful things that happens when we have a class, the energy space, the energy where we have the class changes, the staff changes, Yeah.
It's just amazing because you can perceive it, right? And the last time we've been there, it was so intense, and we just like, okay, what can we change here? And it was a change going on in the lives, all of the people that we were in the foundation, but also like we needed to also actualize the space, the molecules, the vibration of the whole area. It's like, okay, that's not possible now here. We are so intense, we are so potent, we need to change something here. And that's functioning from awareness. You're aware of something, you can do something, you do it.
Yeah.
And that's living from consciousness and communion and no separation, where you are aware of something, you do something, you be something, you change yourself, you change the whole world.
Oh my God.
That's how it works. Oh, Karen has a message also. Do you want me I can read in English,
Yeah,
maybe,
thank you.
so then you
Yeah.
keep translating. We don't need to do.
Smart.
So, yeah, smart. Good evening. Karen says, I listened to the recordings of yesterday's Zoom and I love it.
Oh.
I felt so identified. One of the things that happened to me is that when I choose a class, my barriers go so high, so up. And it cost me 100% to open and receive and let the magic happen. How can I do to trust and use more and more the tools?
Just do it. I mean, it's also this energy of, when you don't do it and nothing is changing, but it's really this choice. Like, hey, it's like I'm at the bakery, but the guy isn't giving me bread. Yeah, you didn't ask for it. You have to choose it. So it's also like, what do you know about these? And what if you don't have to overcome anything to choose the tools? What if there is no problem?
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, and what if you are in the bakery and there's no more bread there? You have to go to another bakery, or that's choice. It's not about staying at home and saying like, yeah, like I'm just, yeah, I want more, and nothing changes. We are in a reality where change, magic, possibilities, all these things that we love and all the things that are really important for life are not allowed.
Yeah.
So then what happens when you don't step to somewhere else is that you stay aligning yourself with this reality. We call this reality as a reality based on unconsciousness. Does that make sense? Do you see this reality encouraging you, giving you power, giving you consciousness?
No.
Does the school give you the tools to thrive and to deal with important things in life? Not really. So it's a reality based on unconsciousness, on suffering, pain, judgment, anti-unconsciousness.
Wow.
And yeah, so then it is a step to take, to, hey, I choose that, as Kalpana says, and we say it many times, and you will hear it many times in Access. Choice creates, and choice is how do you choosing. That's the thing that we have not been taught about that. To, hey, you just have to do that. You can create your life. You create the things in your life. That's why we don't understand choice. In this reality, choice doesn't exist. It's more about any reason and justification. Yeah.
Sorry, Enric. Yeah, but like you don't need a problem to choose a class. It's also sometimes like, oh, no, I don't have a problem with relationships, so I don't need to do that class. Or, oh, I don't have a problem with my body, so why would I do a 3-day body class? It's not only, it can be that there's something with your body and you would like to change it, but it's also really like you don't have to have a problem to choose more. You can just choose more.
Yeah, exactly. It's more about the energy. What's that going to create?
Yeah.
That's we are talking about a lot about the classes, but just like look at your life and look the things that created a big change in your life. Look these things that at some moment you were a bit afraid of choosing, but then you chose it. You trust yourself, or you just like you trust something, but you just did this step, and look at what that created in your life. Any choice to go somewhere else, to do something different,
Yeah.
to go for a trip, to go to a new place, to meet someone, all these things, and that's choice. So that's what we are talking about. To get greater in your life and what you're looking for, many times you have to choose what you don't know, because you are looking for something new, something that you don't have in your life. That's why you cannot control it. You cannot see how it's going to look like. That's why choice is about, okay, I'm choosing that because it's going to create something greater. I don't know how it's going to look like. I don't know how it's going to be, but I choose it.
So cool.
Amazing.
Amazing. Exciting. Beautiful.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, and there were people having bar swap yesterday, and we had a chat with them yesterday. It was a beautiful Zoom. So the Zoom I think that Karen is talking about, but
Yeah.
maybe not. And we were talking about choice, and we were saying also like, hey, if you would like to choose something, but you don't have the money, or you have a work thing and you don't know how to make that work out, or you're supposed to go to your mother's birthday party, but you don't want to, or you don't have a babysit, or you don't know what to do with your dog, any kind of practical reason that you couldn't choose it. What if you choose it anyway? Because the practical stuff, even money, can show up. You first need to choose. And we have learned like, oh no, after finding the babysitter for my baby, and after my husband said okay, and after the money showed up, and after I found my way to the class, after that I can choose it. And then it's actually really other way around. When you choose it, all of that, like the universe will start to get activated by your choice. And then, oh, she wants to go to the class. Okay, let's make it happen. And then it can happen. And the money will come. Like I have so many people, including myself, that money showed up out of nowhere because I chose a class. Or, oh, the thing of work, it got canceled. We don't have that important meeting anymore. Oh, wow, I can go to the class. Things can change, but you've got to choose it, and then things can change and show up and contribute and really support your choice.
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes. So,
and yeah, we can share. If you didn't see the Zoom that we yesterday with the trade, it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
Like today, they are almost like a class because we are inviting you, but also, yeah, as I said many times, inviting you to the classes, but inviting you to choose greater.
Mm.
And we talked many things in this Zoom about how to do that, how to go beyond the barriers and separation and the resistance.
Mm. Yeah.
And so we are going to share that in the group also, so you can listen it if you want. And yes, and I think we are pretty done.
Yes.
And thank you very much.
Thank you for joining
please,
us.
if you know someone that is interested in these classes, share the information, spread the word. Because we'll be so grateful and happy to have you and to share with you these days.
Yes. Thank you, Enric.
Thank you.
Thank you, Liana, for translating.
Thank you, Liana, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Amazing.
Hugs to Tania, Vanessa, Laura, Vicky, Carmen, and everyone that is there in Uruguay and everywhere also. Lady also. Karen. Bye
Thank you, Kerti.
Thank you, Kerti, also.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Eleonora. Bye-bye.
Gracias.
Gracias. Bye.
Nos vemos.